Huzzah! I think that worked. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Good evening for those of you on this side of the world. For those of you on the other side of the world, I don't know whether to say the less crazy side right now or not. Seems like the whole world's pretty crazy. The other side of the world. Hello. Good morning to you. That's the word I was looking for. I have this on ultra low latency. So I think that you all are going to be seeing me or hearing what I say and seeing my lips move and all that more quickly, and I'll be able to see your responses pretty quickly. I already saw which with It's a Jang pretty quickly. So this actually may work out a little bit better with less in terms of the delays going back and forth. So good evening and or good morning to Vince, Nicole, Andy, Reese, Craigster. Hey, have you been in one of these before, Craigster? Which John C. Hello, everyone. And the sound should be a little bit better than it was last time, because what I realized I had neglected to turn off when I copied the settings from the Pure Builds, which is the first place that I got things running more naturally with the new hardware. I forgot to turn off. Ah, there you go. The thing that makes it so that when the bag comes into the picture for the Pure Builds, it doesn't just blow your eardrums out. Aha, which spies a monorail train there? Yes, yes, indeed. This is one of the themes of kind of modern times for me. I just brought this in for the sake of inspiration, since I did good. Since I did get the zoo, I'm assuming that everyone here saw that the zoo has been cleared out. My zoo's gone. It's down to just some temporary monorail track, and actually as of this moment right now, all that monorail track that I showed in the last zoo update video over on the city channel, city specific channel, all that's been taken apart and thrown into hydrogen peroxide, and it's got a UV light underneath of it. And just over the course of dinner, well, I don't know, maybe 3 hours or so, it looks like most of the yellowing has gone away. So those tracks are looking pretty good again already. Plus, I got more track in today with the Bricklink hauls. I recorded it, but I don't have that up. I don't have that up yet. So I should have plenty of track to not only do everything that I want to do, but also to experiment and just kind of get a feel, a physical in-person feel for additional things that I could possibly do to change things up. I'm still considering the idea of having the whole thing go all the way around. Hey, Daniel, having it go all the way around, like at the upper level, go back into the mountain and then go down inside of the mountain and come back and actually do a full continuous loop. But Andy, good fellow. Your chat comes up. I saw it out of the corner of my eye, but I didn't see what you were actually saying. Yes, we're talking about the exact same thing right now. That's fantastic. That's what I'm considering. Hello, Sam Perry. I don't recognize your name. Are you new? Welcome. Whether I am just forgetting because I'm very forgetful, especially with names, or yeah, whether you're new or not, welcome. And Bricks Ahoy. Haven't seen you in here too many times, if I recall correctly. But yeah, we're talking about the possibility of this thing going through an actual loop. I don't know if I have enough height to do both levels. It would be nice to have it go through an actual loop, mostly so that I could have the figures facing to the side and always basically towards the inside of the loop. Sam, when did you join us? Sorry, I'm going to be going back and forth. You'll find that I am a little bit flighty in these. Remind me if I get off topic and I forget to get back to the original topic at any point. Fortunately, my energy level is pretty good right now. But yeah, just considering what to do with that Zoom monorail and how to actually run it. If I need to, I'll just have it going back and forth, It's definitely a possibility, and it's one of the wonderful things that the monorail system, by default, without any modifications, allows you to do. Point to point, stop, and go back. It's very convenient in that way. Also thinking about other things that I could do. I'm also thinking about this possibility here, especially if it's going to go on a loop. Carefully. This possibility. Just set this up, like build upon this with an engine, have the smallest battery setup that I can possibly do, custom if needed, here, or if I could even get the battery like with a LiPo battery or a pair of them in parallel on the sides or something inside of an enclosure, and just have a small engine basically. If that'll work better for me, just another thing I'm considering. The only time we've interacted under this username is when I posted that UV light and transparent plastic vid on Twitter. Ah, gotcha. Well, welcome then. I'm sure that I've seen your name around on Patreon itself, but good to see you here. Probably King Bibby again under another alias. Thank you, Sam, for joining. I hope that you will enjoy your stay with not just me, but with everybody else. We've got a pretty good team going on. Folks are starting to recognize each other more and more. And be sure to check out the unofficial Discord channel if you're into that. That's being kindly run by Cranky Bricks. How do I feel the color is keeping up after restoration? Heard from a couple people who restore old computers that the yellowing can return after a while. Yes, it does. It definitely. There you go. Vince is on Discord right now. It definitely can return, and it just varies by plastic batch. Depends on how much of that fire retardant is actually in there. And I think that I've seen some suggestions that re-yellowing will also depend upon heat. And well, actually, heat. I know heat is a big one, but I think that humidity may play a factor in there. More humidity causes it to come back faster. But then you just give it another treatment. It takes a day, and then you're good for months. So it does become a chase. I don't know if any of that stuff breaks down more permanently, but for me, in most cases so far, I know some people have been unlucky. I think I've been unlucky with like less than 10 parts in total, over the past 10 plus years of them turning back to yellow quickly or getting worse after treatment and then after some time than they were before. But for the most part, I've had pretty good luck. They just slowly turn at different rates going back. I have not personally made any comments about that Lego art theme. I haven't set up my streaming system here just yet to get the multiple overlays and things to bring up other images on the screen. I'm just kind of slowly building my way back to having all my scenes and everything. I'm just happy to have it working at all because I went through months of just major pain. But we can talk about it, and of course, any of you can bring it up in other browser windows. I am so glad with the new Lego art things. The what's the word? Mosaics. The mosaics. I'm so glad that they realized what they needed to do. The only sensible way to proceed was to use round pieces. So they've got studs and round tiles that they're using for that. Because I think that's the worst thing about the dots theme is that you need to align every single one. Otherwise, if you have any need for organization in your life, it's going to bug you so badly when any two things are just slightly misaligned. So the fact that for the official Lego art theme, they went with rounds, even though it might not be the best look, I think it's a good look. It's a look, and it just takes so much frustration out of creating the things. I'm also very impressed by the combinations, the way that they did the combination models for those options. I'm also pretty happy about the base plates, the thick base plates. I don't know why they have to be a brick and a third. I don't know why just one brick thick wouldn't have worked, but I I don't know if it's an insert on the back. I haven't seen the backs of them. I don't know if it's an insert or if it's built into each of those plates to have the little spot where you can hang it, just like a regular picture frame. So that's all good. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the thickness. So you don't need to add anything else to it. It's going to look nice on display. Hate the price. Hate the prices so much. It feels so very, exactly. Early 90s video game graphics, the not to me, it doesn't remind me so much of the actual like gameplay graphics, but quote unquote cutscenes, 2D CG or digitally drawn cutscenes. But I hate the price. I hate the fact that they are wantonly exploiting folks who have a lot of money, who, the adult fans who are well-to-do, who have the money and might just want the stuff no matter how much they charge for it. So they're charging a lot. Yeah. Might get the 3 tall Vader. I think the 3 tall Vader is the best of them, personally. I didn't particularly like the Maul one. What did it have? Did it have like too much of the orange or the flame yellowish orange or flame orangish yellow color? Price is not cool, especially if you want to combo them. Some of the price was it like $460, something like that, to get like the 3, and wasn't one of them the 4? Oh, I guess the Beatles. Insane. Yeah, the new pieces are great. I saw somebody did an analysis of the costs of the parts and everything, and it made sense on paper. But I don't know. It's still ultimately, I think most people are going to build just one, and that's really expensive. And if you do want to build a combo, then that's really, 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 really expensive. And you do end up with a bunch of extra pieces, sure. Yeah, it's rough. I think the analysis, I don't remember who did it. It was within the past week or so. Maybe it was New Elementary. I think the analysis was based on current prices on Bricklink and Bricks and Pieces. But I don't agree with those prices necessarily because they're affected by supply and demand. Ultimately, a stud piece or a tile, a 1x1 round tile, should not cost 10 cents. There's no way, especially if you're bringing a bunch of them. I don't like it. I don't like it. I like the look of the things. I'm not sure if I'll get any myself. I might have to bite the bullet and get one just to check it out and to try the process and to try the base plates, or maybe I can get some of the base plates off Bricklink at some point, maybe, if that becomes an option. It's not exorbitant. The whole premium packaging and the inclusion of a podcast, that I don't know what world sometimes Lego, not so much designers, but other folks in the company live in. It seems to be a world that's like a bubble, and they look at the outside world through portals, or portholes. They open something up, and then they look and like, oh wow, look at, there are these things called podcasts. People like podcasts. We can include a podcast with a Lego set, and that'll make people like it more. And maybe they'll pay more because it'll feel like something that they like. Some of the decisions they make, I don't know. And some of the ways that they present some of the decisions that they make, just, they're odd. They're odd sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, what was the last thing that they did that was really bizarre? They were so happy about. There's something between this and when they did the Creator Mustang, the Creator Expert Mustang, and it had doors that could be opened and closed. So that they just were like, and you can open and close the doors. We made a new part to make it so that you can open and close doors. It's brand new with no gap. It's brand new. This could never have been done before. What? Okay. Frogs in the Haunted House. Yes, that's a good one. That's probably what I'm thinking of. It feels like more of a distant more of a distant memory. Frogs in the they used frogs, gray frogs, as suggestions of little gargoyles around the haunted house. It's like, it's such a cool idea. Everybody come check this out. We used frogs. Never thought of before. It's amazing. Like using the instructions that Lego has online, building with your own bricks. That's fantastic. Anytime you can do that, that's fantastic. It's funny how they were ecstatic about the no gap on the doors for the Mustang, and yet they had these huge gaps on the Crocodile locomotive. Rather buy pieces that I can use for MOCs. I'm with you there. I like MOCs. I'm liking MOCs more and more and more. I'm feeling drawn towards my city and my city channel more and more. Good morning. Top of the morning to you. Michael Mavromatis. Sorry. Do you like the idea of losing myself in audio? Yeah. And I'm sure there's plenty of content out there for that, right? Hey, I got it. It does. So Bricks Ahoy, does it add any? Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you, Vince. Mike, Bricks Ahoy, does it add any value that you're willing to pay for? There you go. I love this. Experience value, yes, okay. But right, you just don't think that you should have to pay like $10, $20 or something extra to be able to listen to a pre-canned podcast that's an hour long that they're just sending out to give you a little background while you build. Not enough of an experience to up the price. Yep. It's totally the type of thing that they should have done as just a free bonus. I'd pay less for a podcast less version. Hey, Vince, who knows? Maybe the theme will totally bomb. It won't. Unfortunately, it won't. Plenty of rich people out there. But if it bombed, you would be able to pay less for a podcast less version through Bricklink. Well, I am so glad that this low latency thing is working. This makes everything much, much better. I had another miserable experience with streaming earlier this week. You know, problems are going away. Things are becoming more and more smooth from a technical perspective. Knock on wood. A little 2x4 propping up, giving me a little extra height here. Yeah, I had a bad experience when everything was good and I made the mistake of feeling good and just like, I'm just going to plug everything in, turn the computer on. I'm just going to start a pure build stream and I'm not going to worry about it. I'm actually going to feel like this is going to work. I made the mistake of feeling like it was going to work just fine because it had been working just fine. And I went to log in, and Streamlabs, the streaming software that I'm using now, actually logs in for you through YouTube, through an API call, and connects you directly. So I can actually see the chat within the streaming software itself. And ultimately, as I learn it more and I get more things integrated, I'll be able to do more things through there, and it'll become more interactive, and it'll be cool. But their API calls were used up for the day when I went to stream. So I couldn't log in. And they don't let you access, by default, I need to find out if there's a workaround for this. They don't let you access your scenes, your setups for how the screen is done, and the audio filters, everything, levels, all that stuff. They don't let you access that stuff unless you log in, except for the last login that you used. Well, my last login at that time was on this channel, the main channel. Now I was moving over to the Pure Build channel. It's completely different scenes, completely different audio engineering behind it. So I just had a do driver and went and watched some Star Trek. I think by then it was DS9. I finally finished Next Generation. Is it a marketing mistake similar to the Pro Display stand with the Mac Pro? Thankfully, I don't follow Mac stuff, so I don't know. $400 optional. What is this you guys are talking about? $400 wheels? Pro stand. Looking this up. So I searched up Pro stand. This is a different thing. I searched up Pro stand and just clicked on the first apple.com link from Google. It takes me to the Pro stand for their monitors. It's $1,000 for a monitor stand because it uses their own proprietary, because it has an aluminum finish. It's an official Apple product, and it uses their own connection rather than a Visa standard connection for your Pro Display XDR. I'm so glad I'm not an Apple guy. I would be so broke. DS9 is pretty darn good. Season 4 or 5 becomes more Babylon 5-ish. The first, I have a couple of friends that have really pumped up Deep Space Nine for me, talking about just how cool the Cisco character is, especially. And unfortunately, I let a little bit of that get to me. So when I saw the first episode, the pilot, I felt my soul tearing. It's so bad. And the main actor's acting in that first episode, when they're trying to give him his human, normal human being, citizen backstory with flashbacks and everything, it's so bad because he's so clearly just deep into the theatrical acting world, and everything he says is so sharp yet smooth at the ends, and he's just speaking normal things. And I don't know, there's something about like William Shatner was kind of silly in that way, when he first came in to the show. But he had a bravado, he had some swagger. The guy I don't remember his name yet, who plays Cisco, he just felt awkward for that first episode, but he gets better so quickly, thankfully. Odo was your favorite? It's funny. There's one episode that has just recently passed. I'm still on season 1, where clearly the regular makeup person for Odo just was out by surprise on one day, and his makeup the appliances just are thin, and you can fully see human. Like, it's not smoothed off. It's completely different. Have I ever watched Stargate? Any of them? How about all of them? I had the complete DVD set of SG-1. I watched all of those multiple times. Loved SG-1, especially Teal'c. Teal'c is my hero, my man crush. What's his name? Christopher. Christopher Judge. That dude. So manly, huh? But yeah, Stargate SG-1, great. Atlantis had trouble with it for a while because it wasn't SG-1, but eventually it grew on me. Universe felt almost like a non-starter. It started to work on it a little bit, but Stargate Farscape. Yes, I've seen that. That will forever be confusing to me as well, with two characters from another contemporary sci-fi show. Very confusing. Only watched the original movie and none of the series. That's okay. Yeah, you are missing a lot. Yeah, you're missing a lot. But I mean, don't feel too terrible about it. It's just a series. It's just one of the greatest series of all time. No, uh, it's not like up there with Firefly or something like that. All my computers are named after Farscape characters, even though B5 is my favorite sci-fi. Now, I've seen a little bit of Babylon 5. I've seen a little bit of Farscape. How do I like Space Force? Space Force is good. It's fun. I'm glad that they have kept it more fun and didn't try to get too ripped from the headlines, political about it. Like it's yeah, it's enjoyable. Sequest. I used to watch Sequest when it was on TV, but I never really watched it through. Firefly. Daniel, get on that. Get on Firefly. That one is great. Nathan Fillion. Wow. Also, uh, who was the actress that got her start in that show? There were a couple, but I'm thinking of Christina Hendricks. I want to say she's in one episode of that. And who else really launched? It's not a name day for me. For those of you who haven't heard, my brain works in mysterious ways. Morena Baccarin is the other I was thinking of, who got her start from there. But all my life, a part of my brain either works on a given day or it doesn't. And it's the part that deals with recalling names. Other things are pretty consistent, but recalling names comes and goes. Yes, absolutely. Firefly ended too soon. It's such a shame. That works. Rolodex's names is full. I can't use that. That excuse though. Although you just dated yourself there, sir. You say Rolodex nowadays on the internet. Most people are just like, is that a meme or something? I don't miss Rolodexes. I do not miss Rolodexes. I do not miss cards. I don't miss any of that stuff. I don't miss spiral phone cords, especially when you get the long ones. Sharp Zarius, 128K. Wow, man, yeah, that's too fancy. Too fancy for my taste. Remember character names more than actor names. I I probably am the opposite on that. Phone books were fun, so much paper. How did they make that paper? That phone book paper. It was so thin, but it wasn't that bad. Like it was crinkly, but it wouldn't tear extraordinarily easily. Like that was good stuff, you know? Good conservationism there, I think. Very practical. Paper maps were the worst until you run out of battery on your phone. Then what do you do? Still being used to prop up monitors worldwide. Absolutely. And we had the in between time of Tom Toms. I got my then girlfriend, now wife, a Tom Tom for a birthday one time, I think it was. And it was probably 2 years after that she went smartphone and never looked back. Still have that Tom Tom though. The IKEA Lego collab does look interesting. I like that. I wanna get that as soon as I reasonably can. I mean, I'm not gonna rush or anything, but yeah, Vince, it's called Big Bigelow Big I almost said Loadster. I can't speak these words, but no, that was the other thing. Bieglick. It's called Bieglick, and it's spelled phonetically. Bygglek. Look it up. Promo Bricks has it. Brickset has it. I think it looks cool. I'm personally interested in it just for building upon, because the price looks really low. I want to see how big it or how small it really is. They have multiple sizes, but I want to see if it's actually as an official Lego product. I want to see if it's a good stand-in for like building up underneath a mountain out of Duplo. I'm curious about stuff like that, using it with Lego. Someone put it in the store. Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought it was supposed to come out. And it just didn't happen to be going at the same time. So they didn't have, Nicole, they didn't have the like press release and everything ready for it? Because I didn't look into it too deeply. Like I saw the pictures and just quickly looked at them. Didn't really look into dates, releases, and official stuff. Bricks Ahoy, I think at least if the corners are strong enough, it's a good start. And to use it as official Lego. I wonder if they'll come out. They weren't supposed to put it in the store. I see. Okay. Happens a lot. At least it wasn't the official Lego store this time that quote unquote leaked the products and started selling them way before they're supposed to. All right, looks like cool. We did not get any good turnout here for this time. Looks like we didn't get any offline questions to go through. Just in case we had any extraordinarily long pauses where nothing was going on, or if my energy completely just tanked out of nowhere, I brought this bucket with me. I don't know if I'm really going to dig into it now, but this is my Bucket O animals. It's about that time. It's about time for me to dig into that and start pulling stuff out and see what all animals I can put into my zoo. I didn't realize this. I didn't realize it's separate. I've never taken my official ostrich apart, but it took itself apart. I'll have to find the base. Oh, here it is. It's a bar, just a regular bar. So it lets you turn this. I never realized that before. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to use this. I think I will, looking at it now. It looks pretty good. And it looks pretty Lego-ish. Will baby Jabba be coming along? Be coming back to the zoo? It will. In universe, that is not an alien. It is just a rare animal. Because it's not Earth, right? Collectible minifigures Series 20 has not been forgotten. It has been pushed back because of the backlog. Joust mock. Don't get me started. I had a love affair with Joust as a small child. I looked up to it. I wanted it so badly. It was just one of those things that just looked so cool. I think I used to draw. I think I only played it a couple of times, but just seeing that arcade and seeing the demo that would run, it just looked so cool. I don't know what it was about that. It shouldn't have looked cool, but it did to me. I thought that's like the pinnacle. It's one of the greatest things in digital systems. And that feeling still sticks with me. I don't think it's that great of a game, though, is it? Like I said, I only ever played it a handful of times. As far as newer animals, I have a Bricks and Pieces order that should be on the way. It's a big one, and I cherry picked some of the new animals, including I think a couple of the ones that come in the blind bags inside of the Friends cubes. To add, I also did get the set that has the sloths. I got the whole set. I don't know if I'll take the time to review the set, but I will use the sloths. So I'll definitely be using some new animals. Noggles in SoCal. $1 to play the game. You got all the top scores on that arcade? You were a mad lad. Wow. Impressive. I was too young in the peak joust days to do well at arcades that require that kind of speed and coordination. Yeah, the alpacas, I think I got a couple colors of alpacas. I'll probably call them llamas. They need to make a, did they make a big one, or did they only make the small ones so far? Because I'd like to have a couple sizes. Wish the Friends animals were more in line with Lego style. I agree. So very much. And it's especially noticeable with like the birds. I guess some of the smaller animals as well. Yeah, like that big old noggin there. Obviously not a bird, but just another one. I don't see one of those. I guess I probably don't have a lot of their Friends birds, but yeah, the faces, right? And they all tend to have mascara. Hey, here's a hedgehog that does not have mascara. That's cool. I'll definitely be finally using that. Get in there. Get in there. No. Not quite close enough, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I want to do. I also want to consider having a petting area. When I first built the zoo, when I was first in the process of building the zoo, I was going to have a petting zoo section of it in there with just regular farm lime. Considered very bad form to call them llamas. I was going to have an area with like some cows, maybe a baby horse, my one goat, my $1,000 goat, pig, some older stuff. Alpacas and llamas are not the same, right? Like they're not the same species. Is that correct? Noticeably smaller than llamas. Okay, but they're close. They're related, right? If I'm not mistaken. I think I prefer llamas to alpacas. Llamas are more like camels, right? In their personality, they're more stubborn and kind of nasty. Alpacas are aggressive too. Okay. Which llamas spit more too. And I think that's why I like them more. As a concept, I wouldn't want to be around them, but as something that I don't have to interact with in person, I like them more. They're more entertaining. When is Lego going to make another goat? Ah, can you imagine if they end up making another goat and it's a Friends goat with major lash extensions that can fly. Saw something out of the corner of my eye that caught my attention. Can finally have some of these real. Might take a while to get you. Can finally have some of these real, quote unquote, real flamingos in the zoo. And I can have both colors of elephant. I spent so much, even though it was years and years ago. It must have, I think it cost like 20, maybe even, might have been $20 for one of them and $30 for the other, for the two different colors of elephants. And I ended up having room only for one. Now I'll be able to have two. A Duplo goat and a Friends goat at the same time to spite us, right? Duplo stuff, I think I have some Duplo stuff as well, just a little bit. I might put like maybe one more thing in. I will reconsider the Duplo baby giraffe, but I still think it's just a little bit too thick. I think my giraffe is okay, although I may now that I have a lot more pieces, I may rebuild it with tan as its base color. Speaking of tan, I do believe I have all the cats. They're in here. I'm not going to try to get them all out now. Just food for thought. Too bad I can't use this. Unless it's for like a statue in front of or on top of the aviary or something. But I think it might be too big for that. Combining the elevated monorail terminal with a lookout platform. I think I understand what you're getting at. And I think I may end up doing something like that. Yeah, I'm still considering exactly what strategy I'm going to take. It's going to depend on how things go with the length of the monorail, whether it's going to turn around, where it's going to be in relation to the train itself, where it's going to be in relation to the entrance, and where it's going to be, or how I'm going to deal with ticketing for the entire park as well as for the monorail. If they'll be separate or together, I'm trying to integrate a bunch of stuff at the end of the line, if I do have an end of the line, that corner, that I was talking about. But I do plan to only have a single stop, a single monorail stop for people to get on and get off in the zoo. Adding a second one, adding additional destinations, having it go over the road, I can consider that, but I don't think that's going to work. Having it connect to other train systems, having it connect, going all the way into the city and stuff, I'm not doing any of that. It's just a zoo train, Vince, it was probably the dog, don't you think? If it's familiar with humans, it's probably the dog that had it more on edge. Universal docking system, nice. I love systems. Of course, we're totally overthinking when we think of stuff like that, right? It's completely unnecessary. But we enjoy it, so that's what counts. BMO is good. BMO's BMO. The last thing that I taught him, it took no time. I taught him hug. So I do this. I've never looked up what like official proper hand signals are, so I probably don't use like the ideal hand signals and terminology and stuff with him, but whatever works, right? So I just did this for Hug. So when he's a small dog, so when I'm kneeling down, I do that. I'm just trying to get him to lean into it a little bit more, not to just put his paws here, head on the side, but like lean in all the way and stay for a second. He's getting pretty good at it. He needs to be brushed right now, though. One of many things that is backing up a bit. I say that because one of the banes of my existence is hair. Because if there's one hair in a video, that's all that anybody sees in that video, Yeah, the Hug thing, I was actually inspired by our neighbor's dog, a full-sized golden retriever who was about the same age as BMO. They got theirs just I want to say 4 weeks after we got BMO. Theirs was a little bit smaller and very quickly grew to be bigger, but their dog loves me very much. Kind of grew up around me, cries when I'm nearby, but not coming to say hello. And I was talking to the neighbor, and he had his dogs on the long outside front yard leashes, and his golden comes over and just sits next to me, and then kind of leans next to me. And I was kind of half kneeling, like half squatting, half kneeling, one knee down, one knee up, close to ground, just talking. And after a while, he just kind of migrates, climbs up on the upper knee. So he's like up here, and I'm talking to my neighbor, like, da, da, da. He kind of leans against me. And then he turned over this way, put his head here, and then put this paw around me and actually grabbed. He's never been taught. He's not trained. He's trained. He knows like no and down kind of, but other than that, he's not really trained. So this was all just him, you know? And he's just like, I love you. I had to show my wife on the security cams. You can just barely see. A little paw, it just comes around. Really slow, very deliberate. Vince, what kind of dog do you have? And is it highly food motivated? And who else here has pets? While we're on the subject. Yeah, the highs can be dangerous. I don't know the hounds. Golden Lab, all right. So, John, I'm waiting on bated breath for you to describe the good dog and the other good dog, with the other one being the crazy one. It's usually the case, right? When there are two. A Yorkie Chihuahua called Moose. So is it short-haired? Andy? One of my friends has had half Chihuahua mutts as long as I've known him. Easily distracted by food, yeah. Newfie. Oh, Newfoundland, right? Quite stubborn, gotcha. Very friendly, yep. Oh, wow. That's impressive, Craig. Gotta give you props for that. Dog that loved to go swimming anytime a door was open, straight to it. Half a mile from the house. That's too far. That's not cool. Mini haircuts. Do you do your own trimming, Andy, by chance? I'm starting to think about wanting to do some trimming on BMO, but I don't want to get into the habit of having to do it all the time. I know my wife's not going to want to have to do it. And I don't want to pick it up as kind of another thing that's always on my to-do list. Yeah, Craig, I can only begin to imagine. Only begin to imagine. I've never had more than one animal other than fish myself. And I don't have any kids, and that's by choice. Familiar with them. Pretty familiar with them. I'm okay with them. But yeah, that's a lot. Oh, I'm sorry, Nicole. Is it a tortoise or, Sam, is it a tortoise or is it a land turtle? I only just recently learned that both exist. Pay for a pro to trim. I feel you. Furminator. I'm going to look that up right now. Oh, just a rake. Yeah. Yeah, we use rakes. BMO does not like them. But I'm starting with a little bit of with a little bit of uh, encouragement, aka food. Used to train police dogs. Wow, Craig, that's impressive. When do I slap? Vince, look, yeah, this guy, this new guy, right? Slap. What is slap? Sleep? S- Is that like one of those IKEA names? Here's a hot tip about Furminators. You don't have to buy a Furminator brand. It's just the tool is just called a rake, and you can get cheap ones, and they work just as well. John C. One is small and lazy, and the other is super hyper. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I felt it coming. Oh gosh, matted hair. That's the worst. BMO gets matted hair just behind the ears. It's the hair, not is it? Yeah, it's. I'm trying to think. Is it the hair or is it the fur? I think those are the hairs, the thin ones, because he's hybridized with poodle, so he has some. He has a good amount of hair. He's double, basically, not double coated, but he has both hair and fur, and the hair is really really smooth and silky and silken, and he has a lot of it behind right here. Another trick with the Furminator type thing is uh, if you can get one that's extra narrow, it pulls a lot less. if you need. What was it last time? I want to say last time we talked about, was it video games that we got into the most? Now we're talking about grooming of animals. And you have to look in the list of people who are watching but not in the chat, because they're the ones that are like, so Lego? Yeah? No? Okay. Nobody minds though, right? I hope. If you do, speak up. I don't think anybody here gets offended too easily. And I think my chat just froze. Oh, there we go. Lego dog grooming, so much easier. Yeah. Had a really interesting... Yeah, where is Catherine? She's, I don't know, she's been kind of flaky lately. I don't know about that. We need to have a talk with Garho, see what's up, see if we can get something going behind the scenes for a little more regularity. Had a really interesting Lego question. Forgot about an hour before the chat. Wish you'd made the note. See, if you had sleep, what is it? Sleeped? Is that how? I don't know what the... I don't know the word, so I don't know the correct grammatical usage of it, but I think sleeped is the thing. Then you wouldn't forget so easily. Oh, wow, Sam. Okay, spur-thighed tortoise. That's cool. I don't know the difference between tortoises and land turtles either. Burgo, hello, hi. Salacious Crumb, I see you there. Where'd you come from? Hi. Can I talk to the process of carving into the mountain for the monorail? How am I going to attack that? With a lot of strength and care. Wedging up and down. A lot of it may involve, because I'm going to be fairly close to the base, a lot of it may involve lifting the entire mountain up a little bit and then pushing the base plate away, trying to create the gap underneath that way. Oh, Burho, my apologies. Burjo. Is it? Oh, Burjo. Put another accent on it, right. Burjo, my apologies, yeah. Yeah, so for the lower parts, Burjo, thank you. Probably getting the base plate to move away is the main thing. But if I end up doing, yes, absolutely, finger injuries. Fortunately, I've got plenty of calluses from building all the time. If I end up poking a second hole up higher, or if I only do an elevated line hole, that's just stripping as much stuff as I can from the outside, the stuff that kind of locks the big ugly rock pieces together, and then just pushing and praying, hands on both sides, pushing out, back and forth, wedging, just working force around, getting things to wedge, against each other until I just have enough room to get a stud through. Once I can get a stud to actually offset a little bit, then it's just working it back and forth and trying to continue that and get a second stud to just barely get out of its little slot. And it's just force and patience and care, pushing in both directions simultaneously to make sure that when something goes, it doesn't all go, especially since I've taken off so much of the foundation from underneath, from behind. It would not be an easy thing to do to film. I'm not even going to try it, because I'm going to have to be inside and outside. I'm going to have to be all around, all sides, possibly climbing on top of the table at some points. I'm not going to have to worry about what angles I need to keep out of the video and stuff like that. Sorry, no taping. No taping for that one. Something I'll just have to do on my own time. Be nice if I could jack up that low subtable that I have below the mountain. Oh, you mean like temporarily? Just while working on it? I think I have enough room under there. I think I have enough room. Worst case scenario, I can just pull it out because nothing is connected on top yet. I'd have to just move a couple of major things like the shuttle launch pad, and I guess now the antenna thing that's temporary, but that can still be pulled out for now. Should allow me to bring down the base plate easily. You wish, bricks ahoy. Keep dreaming. I think a 1 to 2 brick gap between the main line tunnel portal would look good. I agree. I agree. Having them not directly adjacent, I think would be the best way to go at this point. The sizes are going to be so much different that it probably doesn't make sense. One of the things that I considered was repurposing it like it was originally a double tunnel for multiple standard gauge, double opening tunnel for multiple standard gauge lines to go through, and one is just, not used anymore. And then the zoo came along and decided to use part of it, so they reopened a piece of it. I'm probably not going to do that. This is probably going to be a unique thing for the zoo, and I am going to try to make it look like it's disappearing. I think I'm going to make it look like it's disappearing into just trees and stuff. Right. When the monorail goes into the mountain, thank you, Craigster, with the save. What are the visitors going to see? They will see exhibits. There will be zoo space related stuff in there. I'm not going to confirm or deny just yet what exactly will be in there, but it will be illuminated appropriately, and there will be things. I have not. So yeah, those supports on the monorail so far are not even temporary yet, like pre-temporary. All that stuff is just there for visual blocking in as I start to ideate and think about. As far as I'm concerned, the layout may change 100%. I'm actually still in the zone of thought where I could decide to not use the monorail at all. I'm still okay with that possibility if that ends up being what I find to be the correct, the correct answer for what I want to do. But before I make anything even close to permanent, I will definitely test all the tolerances and all the spaces for my longest overhangs on my rolling stock, all of my rolling stock, my worst rolling stock, which generally comes down to the locomotive units for the passenger line, because they have long noses. I'll test those forward and backward, all possible options, and make sure that there will be just enough room. I have also considered the possibility on that side where the passenger line turns in and cuts through the city, right next to the zoo and next to the fire station. Consider the possibility, if I want the space and need the space, I can run the monorail line over the main line, like 100%, completely over the top of it, if that ends up working for me to regain a little extra space. Not reading that comment. Not reading that comment. Don't see it. I'm absolutely looking forward using the new coral pieces. I continue to get more and more. Probably, knowing me, I probably added more of them to my most recent bricks and pieces order. I don't remember, but I probably added even more. We got the two colors. We got the coral color and we got the teal. I'll probably end up having to save a lot of those because ideally I'd love to use a ton of them in my normal underwater sections, but I'll probably end up having to use a bunch of them in my rebuilt aquarium space just because they're extra special. They're very expensive, unfortunately. It would be nice if the passengers on the monorail changed depending upon season. Yep. I need to change people generally a lot. I don't really do it much at this point at all. Yeah, I really haven't done anything winter related for my city at all. It seems like it's always fairly tropical. I know it rains sometimes, but I don't think it ever gets really cold. Except for that one lady who's always cold. She's currently still stuck in the waiting room, I think, in the hospital. Congrats to you, Craigster. I'm getting lots of coral pieces. I just haven't been able to bring myself to buy a whole lot because they're so expensive. No global warming because people politicize it and they get silly and dumb. None of that. No global warming. No pandemics. No elections. None of that dumb huge fig stuff. Only local warming. Exactly. I do have microclimates. So I think of there's something I was thinking of. Oh, I have not gotten yet. Agreed, Michael. I have not gotten yet any of the city ocean exploration sets. I just haven't been able to get them yet. I honestly haven't been looking that much because I got enough stuff to keep me busy for a while. I'm really looking forward to those. Not everything is awesome in New Jiang City. The police force has been a problem since the beginning by design. It's funny how that has come full circle because I made my police force just generally mean in the comic, Lego kind of way. And I did that specifically to be contrarian since everything in Lego is usually smiling. I just wanted to just switch things up. And so without getting into it, you may have seen my small series of posts about changes in the prison system, some specific cases that have come up, and I'm actually going to continue with that. Actually, do a little bit of reform in my city. One of the main reasons that I did take the risk to broach that topic at all was Lego's little thing that they did where they tried to tell everybody to stop for a day putting up ads for the police sets. I thought that was just hiding from the issues, no matter what side you're on, just hiding from it and trying to pretend like kids should hide from it. That was a little bit much for how important of an issue that it is, at least over here in the US. It's a pretty big deal. I didn't like that idea of hiding and pretending that it just doesn't exist in either direction. So I wanted to be sure to kind of poke that a little bit. I'll do a little bit more of that, but I'll definitely be doing police reform. Speaking of which, I had a vision that came to me. I don't know if I was waking up or going to sleep or something, but for a long time, one of the things I've been planning on doing was, of course, rebuilding the police station. The police station was one of my first MOCs, if not my first building MOC of any real size, and it's old. You know, um, it was cool for its day, and the interior details are good, but the outside, it's not good enough. So I'm actually, someday I'm going to rebuild that. But what the vision that came to my mind was interesting. It was unexpected because I'm always thinking of like, how do I balance between the blue and the white? Like, what is the what will the balance be in Lego Police between blue and white? It always comes down to that. You can do black and white, get a little classic with it, I guess, but it usually is blue and white. And the vision that came to me, I'm finally going to get to it, was black and blue. Not because of black and blue bruises, no. Just blue main color, black accent color, and plenty of it. I just have a picture that came to me of a possibility. It doesn't entirely make sense for something to build, but I think the color combination, as long as there's enough of both and enough detail in there, I think that might work. And it'll be distinct and it'll be different. And it'll be not just white and blue. So I think once I get to that project, I'll probably try that. I'm not sure if I've seen that done. Blue like regular Lego blue, classic Lego blue. Teal and white. Teal and white. That actually sounds really nice. I kind of wish now that teal was more. Some European countries have it. Okay, I'll have to look that up and just see if there are some examples that can give me more inspiration. But I wish that when I was making my hospital, there was a lot more teal available. Space Police 1 was black and blue, kinda, but then they had the red. The trans red was pretty prominent. What I saw in my head was kind of like some variation of one of the earliest minifig scale and minifig including police stations from Lego, one of the really old ones, but with when they were white and black, but with blue instead of the white. It was kind of like that, just roughly. Some European countries like Belgium, police are wearing light gray with light orange accents. Okay, dark blue overcoats. Sounds familiar to me. Yeah, I'm not big on the bright colors. I took inspiration from European colors for my ambulances, and that is one place where I used teal. Some of my original teal bricks that I've had for decades now. I think that worked out pretty well. But yeah, something else with teal and white would be nice. New police buildings tend to look like industrial warehouses in the UK. That's weak. Mine's going to be fairly close to, if not in downtown, so it's got to look right, It's got to look nice. No small tile pieces in olive green except for rounds, right? There are, I think there were 1x2s, but then the 1x1s are round only. Olive green is pretty good. I need to use a bunch of it for my expansion to my Minecraft area. For what is the one? I think I'm going for Mesa biome. I'm gonna use that as the Mesa grass color. I thought about style for the police station. I have not. Probably won't be going too far futuristic. It'll be fairly grounded. At least 3 stories tall, though. Much bigger than what I have now. The old courts tend to be restaurants now. Speaking of police in the UK, my wife and I we've just started. No olive 1x2s? No? No? Thought there were. We just started watching Luther. I know it's old, but we started watching Luther. Random tangent. My station, I use the red masonry type bricks, old gray pillars at the front, and a modern holding cell. That sounds good. Luther is awesome, except 20% of the main dialogue is alright, alright, and all the possible meanings of that. You know, whether it's a hello, or what have you got for me, or I'm backing down, or I'm stepping up. I think we're on season 4 right now. And it seems like every scene starts with and consists mostly of, all right. Life on Mars, 70s style building. Moving to an industrial warehouse. Oh, it's totally not real. I mean, even I can tell that it is extremely fake. Extremely, extremely fake, made for TV. And some of it is not even particularly good writing, but it's entertaining, you know. And I think the casting is good as well. Was it not produced by the same team that did Strike Back? It feels very similar. I know the intro is done by the same group, but the whole thing has a similar feel to it. Latest season of R&M. What is? Oh, Rick and Morty. Yeah, we've so unfortunately, I've not been able to put a lot of brain energy into it. It's just kind of like something we'll watch while eating dinner, and I just see it as entertainment, and it's good entertainment. And we've also picked up the spinoff. Help, Sun Odd. What is odd? What is? Somebody help me. What am I thinking of? From the Rick and Morty creators, their other series. Can't brain because it's a name. Rick and Morty creators' new show, Solar Opposites. I like Solar Opposites because it doesn't even really ask you to think that much. It does have that some of that same flavor in it, and they do some deep dives into abstraction, but it's more just plain lighter entertainment, I think. Have I thought about the locations of monorail switches? They take up some space. I know that I have to be especially considerate of which side the control is on. Fortunately, they're short. You know, they're not full length. So it's just the depth that I need to worry about. And fortunately, I think I should be able to integrate that in. That shouldn't be too much of a problem for me. To appreciate Rick and Morty, Michael, you need to be very jaded about life, or at least in a very jaded mood. It helps a lot. Snowpiercer. Should I go there? Should I go there with Snowpiercer? The main guy, I don't remember his name. former detective, played in Hamilton. When we first started watching that show, which wasn't too long ago, I couldn't figure that guy out. And I didn't know if it was the character, the writing, or the actor, or just the character, or excuse me, the actor trying to figure out the character and still working on it. And as it went along, I realized that no, it's more the actor himself. There's something about him that I don't believe because he's from the back of the train, right? He's gritty. He's been beaten down. He's been through the dirt continuously for years. Like he's gritty, right? He's dirty. He's just rugged, rough. He's been just run through all the worst stuff. But I don't see that in his portrayal because I don't see that at all in the actor. I feel like he is such a faker at that. He comes across as a very clean kind of upper class to between upper class and hippie neighborhood kind of upbringing is what I get from him. And I started to analyze what I was getting from him. And I hit it right, completely, 100% on the head. And it was mind-blowing. He went to high school in Berkeley, California, which is exactly where I was like, it's like he's from Berkeley or something. And like me, he has one white parent and one black parent. I don't know. It was a thing where you had to be there in the conversation where I was trying to to analyze this guy and figure out why I didn't like this portrayal of this character on this show that I knew nothing about before. Didn't really care that much about, other than just as idle entertainment during eating. But then it finally all came around for when I learned that he was in Hamilton. And right, theater actor, middle class, Berkeley Hills. Got it. Totally makes sense now. I don't know Bong Joon-ho by name. Is he the creator of Snowpiercer? Is that what we're talking about? Is the Train We Love Trains? But they don't spend much time talking about the train. I'm sure I would like the show a lot more if it was more about the train and the soul of the train itself. And they focused a little bit more on its mechanisms and stuff rather than just people's faces. The movie the TV show is derived from. See, I didn't even know there was a movie. I thought it just was like book to. I thought there was just a book. I never even heard of the movie. We'll have to look that up once we get through the TV show as it's available. I'll have to look up the movie. 2013. Chris Evans, okay. Wait, is that the same guy right there? No, okay, so this is the guy from Westworld. All right. Add that to the list. Did direct Parasite, gotcha. Yeah, Parasite. We just saw Parasite about a month ago, I'd say. That was cool. That was really good. Very enjoyable. Copy, paste, Google. Don't know that guy. I don't think I don't, as much as I like trains, I don't think I could watch a movie about a train. Because I want to see multiple trains. I would watch a movie about trains. Parasite was a trip. I had no idea what way it was going. I'm so glad that it turned a couple times, kind of. Own flavor. That's cool. Train Spotting. Ah, oh, that was a rough one. Ah. No, thank you. Saw it in its entirety. Not my thing. Not my thing. Movie that should be made into a Lego series of sets. I'll put that out to the group. I'm sticking with original Tron. I don't need to do anything farther than that. Original Tron, 1982, done. Full series of sets, everything. Too easy. Do I think Lego's line away from kid-friendly is still moving? Dark Crystal. Jeez. Not the movie. That thing gave me nightmares as a kid. I saw it in the theater. It was not a kid-friendly movie, in my opinion. Lego moving away from kid-friendly. Shall we talk about the V-22 Osprey? Dark Crystal was good. It was not for young kids. Remember, I'm younger than you. I was too young to watch that. The Skeksis are scary as... and the part where I don't remember, the long-legged thing gets pushed off the edge of the cliff, that was the worst part. I cried so much. Yeah, V-22. The TV show is good, yes. V-22. I'm going to get that. I'm not a Technic specialist. I'm not particularly interested in that set itself, but I'm very interested in the fact that it is a 100% made for military exclusive vehicle, and Lego has made an official version of it as a model. Not even a look-alike, not even a spin-off, not even in like a civilian variant, because there is no civilian variant of a V-22. And I'm going to review the thing specifically to harp on that point. And people in the comments who don't know what they're talking about are going to say that there are civilian variants of the V-22. And as a matter of fact, one of the reasons that Congress approved the program against some of the detractors at the time was because they felt that it was going to feed new technologies back into the consumer civilian sector, and it was going to be great for all of aviation and help to propel the United States forward into the next generation of air-based transport. Yeah, they never made a civilian variant of it. There is now that the thing has changed hands, the company has changed hands. There's an Augusta, was it Augusta Westland? Was a AW308 or something like that, that is just now, like right now, finally entering testing, which is not the same airframe. It doesn't look the same. The only thing that's the same about it is that it, well, was ultimately derived from the same program. It is a tilt rotor craft, but it's not a V-22. There is a V-22, and it is a military-only craft. Most of them are not armed, like they don't have guns on them. Some do. A lot do. But their primary purpose is to move guns around and to move the most deadly of all weapons around, soldiers, and all their stuff. This means they can open the door to more military vehicles for at least but they've been doing fighter jets for quite some time. For Technic, for Creator, right? They just put them in airshow colors. Then they can keep their moral high ground. Yeah, it's not. I think they need to stop trying to have their cake and eat it. I think it's very annoying. I'm personally kind of tired of the hypocrisy there. And then, they do Star Wars. They do so many things. They've done so many realistic guns, not to mention realistic melee weapons, which are more gruesome and horrible. Just be honest. I like what Playmobil does, because Playmobil is like, look, these things existed, these things exist. We believe it is up to parents to teach their kids the difference between pretend and real life, and potentially to use the toys as vehicles for education, for history as well as modern life. And they're just honest about it. They'll cover some things that are uncomfortable, but that are based on reality. I think parents should parent. And definitely companies should not try to hold a moral high ground, but then dip into the low ground for a little extra profit. Just don't do that. Would a Lego historic line work? No. No, it wouldn't. They would implode. Lego would implode if they tried to do a historic line the way that, for instance, Playmobil does. Because Playmobil is kind of grandfathered in, and they're just so German. Like, they're allowed to do, like, they can continue to do cowboys and Indians. Like, how offensive is that? Lego can't do cowboys and Indians in the historical sense anymore. They will never be able to do that again because of the realities there. Yeah, sanitized world history. But yeah, there are so many, and especially with cancel culture today and how over the top that gets. If Lego gets one word wrong on something or leaves out specificity in the description of how they're presenting something, it'll be the top trend, and then they'll overreact. No, they can't do that. Not saying it's a bad idea, Mr. Mavromatis. It's an excellent idea, but Lego, the company, can't handle it. They can't do it. G.I. Joe, are you kidding? Original G.I. Joe is fantastic. I think I probably saw the layout that you're talking about, Craig. The very one. I think I probably saw that video. I was disappointed in the HISS tanks, because the most important things to me are the HISS tanks. They are kind of quintessential Gen 1 G.I. Joe, and what made Gen 1 G.I. Joe awesome. HISS tanks are just so over the top. So over the top. How many decades before the Ripsaw? The real life high performance tracked vehicle thing. I think they did a really good job on the Lamborghini LM 005 or whatever it is, the Lambo stand-ins, the unofficial ones. I think I like their original version a little bit better. But yeah, I would love that theme. Knees and elbows, yeah, revolutionary for a major line. I think some other smaller companies had done that, but for something to get that much investment and to be in that many stores, Yeah, the G.I. Joe figures were technically amazing. You kept most of your Kenner Star Wars toys from the 70s and 80s. Like, to this day, you still have them, Vince? Do you have a vinyl Jawa? Do you still have the little extra end on the telescoping uh, lightsabers for your Ben and your Vader? All of no. Wow. And your originals at that. Single owner. That's amazing. That's amazing. Awesome. Wow. Kudos. That is really, really awesome. As long as you don't have a rocket firing Boba Fett. If you have that, I'm just gonna ban you and yeah. Banned. What do I do with the built sets? Oh, what do you do with the built sets? Put it on a shelf? Ah, gotcha. Like for instance, GI Joe or something, or GI Joe or History, whichever one you're talking about. I think there was a little bit of delay there. Uh, Nicole, what do you do with the built sets? So if you're talking about GI Joe or something like that, then you make your own diorama just for those. I mean, you could put them in if you want, put them together, but I think probably most people would keep that stuff separately. If you're talking about history, then again, dioramas. History, okay, yeah, separate, put things together that belong together. I think let's take Nicole sometime, and everybody should do this. Spend some just 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes tops, searching around for adult collector Playmobil displays. You will see some amazing things out there because they're not purists. So they'll make all their terrain with traditional modeling techniques. And you'll see some huge, like realistic scale historic battles depicted that are the size of a room and stuff with every single figure individually posed. It's so funny with the rigid Playmobil figures and everything, but they do it so well. Definitely look into that. And that's where you'll see how historical themes can work with comic little kid designed, little kid style uh, uh, toys. It can be really, really cool. Looking forward to it, Vince. Let's see. Falcon and Snowspeeder. Goodness. How about Dune sets? New Dune movie coming out. Have faith in the director. Blade Runner 2049 was pretty good. It wasn't the original. It didn't it didn't have a Latin guy playing a Japanese guy because it didn't come out in the 80s. Uh, uh, my favorite thing, probably the thing that sticks with me most from Blade Runner 2049, I'll circle back to my thoughts on Dune, was Dave Bautista's performance. That was really good for a wrestler to give that serious of a performance. I was impressed there. That made me root for him. Playmobil scene. Yeah, it hasn't changed much. They just have a lot more. I've only watched Tron Legacy once. I need to watch it again. Yeah, yeah. Dave needs to do more stuff like that. Spent the whole movie waiting for Decker. Understandable. As for Dune, I watched Dune once. I didn't enjoy it. Just, it gets too cerebral for me. I found it to be kind of boring. Sorry. I should probably watch it again just to make sure that it wasn't just me at that moment, you know. And it might be just me, but I want to make sure it wasn't just at that moment. But I just the worm is the spice. The spice is the worm. Just 2001? No, because 2001 is just so flippin' awesome. The quality of all the visuals is so high. I appreciate it so much. The audio is so good, and it was so futuristic in how everything was done. So many techniques that have never been done before. Just I can watch the quietest scenes of that and just be in awe because the craftsmanship involved in that, even like the simplest things, like the chairs that were made for it and stuff, you know, wall dressing and stuff, just the care is just, you can look at every single thing everywhere and it's all perfect per someone's design. I just really, really appreciate that. Planet of the Apes or Avatar? Avatar is kind of rough, right? When you think about the actual story of it. Talking about the whole, you know, the war thing and kind of political stuff and all that kind of real life stuff. Like deep down, or even not even that far down, it's kind of rough. I don't know if they would do that. That's it's beautiful. Some of the scenes were absolutely amazing. But there were too few of those. Planet of the Apes would make a good theme for who was that? McFarlane. When McFarlane was trying to do brick-based stuff for a while, because that's the only thing that they could get into stores. This is what stores wanted to buy was brick-based stuff. They could have done Planet of the Apes well, although their figures weren't particularly posable. It was kind of a low point for that series, but I think they would have been the right ones to do Planet of the Apes. If Lego did it, they'd probably have to redo it, like reboot it, do a Monkey Kid kind of thing. Then maybe they could pull it off, kid it up a bit, you know. Because I don't think that they're. I think it's gonna be a long time before Lego can lean into their adult marketed stuff to get more truly adult appropriate themes. They want adult money, but they don't want to do anything that'll offend or be scary or be risky. Avatar, if they bring back and use Woody legs and arms, that would be good. Cannonball Run cars, yeah, that would absolutely. I mean, come on, Mad Max. You talk about cars and stuff. Like, use that Speed Champions scale and do all the Mad Max stuff. I don't care if it's old, new, do it all. All of it. All that post-apocalyptic, crazy car stuff. I love that stuff. One of these days, I'm going to have a so-called safaried out car. You know, a street car that's raised with some riveted on fender flares and some big high profile tires, mud flaps. They can do their own fake made Mad Max. The problem with that, honestly, they would do that in a season of Ninjago. That's how Lego would do Mad Facts. Lego Movie 2. Yeah, they kind of they touched into that. Ninjago Hunted did a little bit of that, but I feel like they still have room to go deeper into that and just focus on more of the vehicular part. I think a lot of people would enjoy that. That is a place where they could tap into. They could do something that would be sufficiently kid friendly. Would be plenty kid friendly, but we don't need another hero. I go Tina Turner. What? I feel like I just experienced stream lag in my head. Like it just locked up. What? Ah, okay, I'm back. That was wild. Mad Max slightly devastated the spinoff won't have Charlize as Furiosa. Will it have a Furiosa at all? The Wasteland movie is seemingly scrapped. What is going on here? What are you talking about? What is going on here? Oh god. What is the news with the Mad Max series? I know nothing. Last I heard, it was basically we're going to get a sequel. It was going to focus on Furiosa, and I was fine with that. But what happened now? Prequel Mad Max? I mean, it's still, you can't go too far back, I hope. You know one thing. Winter is coming. Winter is coming. Wait, seriously? That is what they're doing? Lord of the Rings TV series? New Lord of the Rings Lego? Ooh, yeah. That would be good. That would be good. That would totally work. Yes. I'm 100% behind that. My accents come and go. I can't always do them on command. Like one day I'll just be able to get a particular one, or I'll be able to switch back and forth between different parts of the kingdom. And then the next day it's just terrible and it's all bad. It sounds like an American trying to sound British, which is usually really bad. At least nowadays, not so many Americans immediately go really low Cockney as they used to. That used to be kind of the default. I don't hear that so much anymore. And you know what's the funniest thing? It's talking about people using different accents. I mentioned the series Strike Back before. It wasn't until after I finished the entire series that I looked up the actors and realized that the guy playing the Brit is an American. I knew that the guy playing the American was an Aussie, but the other way around too. That really surprised me. He actually did a very good job. Did I keep the last? Yes, I do have all of the modern Harry Potter stuff still assembled. I'm keeping all that until they finish making new ones. So I will be able to I will be able to continue to show how the things connect as they come out with new ones. Lego Dimensions Sauron. Yes. Oh, that is sorely needed. That's a really good one. I wonder what my Canadian accent would sound like. I don't know. Because it's not that different. It depends on whether you're going, French Canadian is different quite a bit. But the rest of the territory, I don't know. It's not that different. A boot. A. Anytime I say A, EH, A, people are like, "Dang, are you Canadian? Do you have to be Canadian to say A? It's just an onomatopoeia. Just A." Yes, Vince, you're definitely doing it wrong. You're doing it really, really wrong. But keep trying, buddy. You got to at least try. Just do it in private. Don't do it around anybody. Southern Europe, when we try to imitate British accents, goes directly to a posh accent. I'm surprised when I listen to, speaking of posh accents, I'm surprised when I listen to Australian news broadcasts, the anchors have like posh British accents. They don't sound Australian at all. It's weird. It's kind of surreal. At least usually. I mean, maybe there are some, but most of the ones that I've heard go very, very stiff upper lip. Yeah, what accent is that, by the way? The Nemoidian accent. Bricks Ahoy. As an Australian, I will inform you that a lot of people speak like that. Not a lot of Australian accents present. Hmm. Well, I know that, like, especially over the last, or at least like over my lifetime, it has softened up quite a bit. Like I feel like a general populace Australian has moved in the direction, or at least like city area, metro area Australian has moved both in both directions. Looking at the globe, has moved a little bit in the American direction, a little bit in the British direction. More in the American direction, I feel. Which is disappointing because I like variety. Doesn't every major, definitely move more American. Doesn't every major culture have, or group of cultures that are now politically as one, have lots of subtle differences that people from elsewhere wouldn't recognize? I think the subtleties of flavor, fortunately, are still around. But I don't like how flat everybody is getting. Here's a question for the folks from the UK in this chat. Personal question. True, genuine interest for me. Why do so many singers from the UK use an American accent when just performing normally? Why? Ah, good on you, Michael. My kids watch American TV. I'm sorry. Why in the British derived accents does O, an O sound, when it ends a word, or when it ends a syllable, have so many syllables to it? Why does O have so many syllables? Why is it oyu? That's like that's like 3 syllables. Oyu. Where did that come from? You personally have not noticed what I'm saying about UK singers. I'm sure it totally depends on what Like what types of music you're listening to. It just seems unusual how many times I'll listen to something from the UK, not trying to target the US audience or anything, just doing their music. And they have like an American accent. Like in British shows, even. I don't know. The Hollywood effect. Craig. Very nice. That is one of the most elevated answers I've ever heard to anything. uh, now I just have in my head, I just hear echoes of oi oi oi. Oi oi oi. Why? Make it stop. I like Scots, and yeah, I cannot understand deep Scottish accents because it's not just accent. There's more to it than just simple inflection. But I think I like the culture. I don't know. I've never been there, but I think I like it. Have I traveled? Very little. Very, very, very extremely, extraordinarily little. I have been off the continent once. I've been out of the state 4 times, I want to say. I don't know. An American coming to the UK, I feel like I'll just get stoned talking about the traditional kind of stone, like stones thrown at me. I would deserve it. Kind of going anywhere for that matter. Oh, there we go. Do you have a doghouse for me? Perfect. Do you still have your racing dogs? Craigster? Burjo. I saw little bits. I saw little bits of Australia's Lego Masters before they pulled all the clips offline before the American one started to increase in its initial early marketing. And that one looked good. I wish that the American one was more like that. No offense, but I thought that the UK Lego Masters was a little bit mm, quiet. Like I'm not a fan of the Great British Baking Show and that style. It's very serene and very peaceful, and that's nice. Like nothing against it. It's just not for me. I want a little more pep. Ah, Just the new fee. 75K. That's a that's a that's a lot of wet hair. Even I prefer the I think you're probably in the minority with that, Craigster. I think most people on your side of the pond prefer the UK one and found the American one to just be too American. Too much flash. And thank you, Vince, for the invite. Yes, try the Aussie one if you can find it. From the ones that I've seen so far, I think who else got one? Did who else got a Lego Masters show? Like did the Netherlands get one or something? I like the Australian one. It felt right to me because they were really about the Lego, but then they also had some fun. Bricks Ahoy. If you know the right person, you can give him a call. You push the button, and he'll say, "I'll make it legal." But my lord, is that legal? Yeah, a lot of the negative feedback, when I have seen negative feedback about the American Lego Masters, was about uh, Will Arnett. Personally, I thought he was. I thought he was good. I thought he was very enjoyable. I thought he was. Yeah, exactly. He didn't take it too seriously. He, yeah, he had fun. He did his Lego Batman movie thing, but not too much. You could see that he was out of his element at times, and he was, he owned that. Yeah, I thought he was pretty good. I had no problems with him. I felt like the actual Lego. I felt the actual Lego Masters there were a little bit awkward. I felt like they were outside of their element. I wish they could have. I wish they could have been a little bit more loose, but they had to be toting the company line and be very careful what they said. Yeah, really stiff. Clearly just uncomfortable and worried. Granted, I would be very uncomfortable if I was in their positions. Like just imagining myself as a Lego Masters judge, like a guest judge or something. Even just as a walk on, for a quick little appearance and just go around, look at stuff because you don't want to discourage. You don't want to put custom builders down. Lego Master Amy, what's her name? Amy Corbett. Yeah, she was all right, but still a little bit stiff. I felt. And reserved. Have I ever spoken directly to a Lego employee? I have spoken to a fair number of Lego employees, uh, virtually. Pretty well up the chain. Not just Lego store employees. Dot's product manager and one of the mothers of Friends, if I'm not mistaken, Vince, Amy was. Just call customer service. Yeah, you can speak to Susan. Thank you, Burjo. The funny thing is, the LAN network and Lego itself does not ask anybody. I have confirmation from all sides. They don't ask anybody who's a member who gets free stuff from them to change their tune. And from what I've heard, they've not put any pressure on people who do reviews to change their opinions, to change the way they present their opinions. I don't think that's ever come up. There are other things that involve drama on all sides with that whole setup, but definitely there are people out there who will get free stuff and they will be extra nice about it because they got it free or because they want more free stuff or both. But it's not Lego's fault. Yeah, the funny thing is once you're in, Vince, there is that threat that if you do something wrong or something they don't like, they can kick you out. That threat is there for a number of specific things. But that threat is never used with respect to opinion. It's from all that I have heard from all sides. I did not know there was a German Lego Masters. I can imagine the German Lego Masters being just Technic, all Technic. From what I've heard, I don't want to be too specific, but from what I've heard, a lot of people at Lego involved in design, from what I've heard from a number of sources, get annoyed. I won't say annoyed, maybe a little bit disappointed that more reviewers, especially those that get stuff free, aren't more critical. They actually really, really do appreciate constructive criticism, even when it's harsh. They are really good sports. Like the culture is developed very, very nicely, and the types of people that they bring onto the team at all levels through design are really, really good about accepting criticism in the most positive, in the most constructive way. Of course, nobody likes to be just pooed upon relentlessly, you know. They must enjoy my reviews a lot. Maybe. I don't know. Shall we put together some constructive feedback about the ideas program then? Oh, we shall. I'm not going to be the one to do it, though. That is too much of a mess. I've got too much other stuff to do. UCS Hoth base and you know, just all of the stuff that people complain about existing for the simple fact that it's not made just for them. So all the junior stuff that adults complain about, all the I don't know, city stuff that Star Wars fans complain about, you know, all the Technic stuff that minifig fans, you know, minifig set fans complain about, all the stuff that people complain about because it's not specifically made for them. Like that feedback is just trash and not respected, not appreciated at all. You know, people looking at adults and teens, especially teens going through their edgy age, and you know, being all up in arms about the existence of 4+ sets, the existence of Duplo, like it's some sort of direct offense to humanity, and Lego is being evil by putting these things out, or just dumb. Like the designers themselves are personally just dumb and lazy people for making these sets for younger kids. Like that kind of feedback, that is not appreciated at all. Yeah. Classic, perfect. Classic immaturity regardless of age. Exactly. More sitcom sets and realistic space. What else? What else can we get more of from ideas? Duplo Batman does look creepy. I don't mind the Duplo Batmobile though, I have to say. I just this was it this month? Probably the end of last month. Had to give up on my dream of having one day having a Duplo train layout. Just reminds me so much of my happy days of going to toy stores where they would have Brio trains with those wooden tracks and the round magnet couplers. I had to give up on that. Sad face. Modular like buildings like the old fishing store. Yeah, I'm surprised that they would actually let stuff through like that. Because it's, yeah, Brio trains. That was the stuff. That was the stuff. It was all about the overpasses. Those arch overpasses in Brio. That was classic, pure, concentrated fun of youth. And trains put together. Just all the goodness of Earth in one place. I wish I could tap into that. Whatever magic was involved there, bring that to Lego, but Lego is just too complex. Thomas and Friends line is in all sorts of disarray. I don't even. So I've never followed Thomas and Friends. I support it, but when you say all sorts of disarray, and I know that there have been a lot of characters added, but have they like changed characters and stuff? Like what? How? What sort of disarray? If you can name one major thing. Can't believe we've been going for 2 1/4 hours. Hmm. Particularly on the wooden line, huh? That's the last place I would expect it to expect them to have quality issues. I can understand on the plastic stuff, but on the wood you'd expect that to stay classic and right, yeah. Rather they brought back Lego Classics, even if they have new pieces, rather rather than what? See, the problem with bringing old stuff back is that the number of people that would buy them is very small. Yeah, Vince. Yeah, so yeah, one like a nice, well loved, highly sought after set, bringing back on a infrequent basis could sell to the nostalgia market. But you do too many and there's just not enough market out there. Less paint? Jeez. Yeah, monorail. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just real quick, Lego. If you can just make a airport shuttle set as a throwback, real quick, that would be good. Rather than ideas. Gotcha. That would work. Charge all the monies because they know we'll pay it. Yep. The thing about stuff like that, though, is so many people who will say that that's what they want won't actually go to the cash register. Like, look what happened with Bionicle. They brought Bionicle back. All these Bionicle fans were like, bring back Bionicle. It's the one single and individual only thing that has ever existed to save the entire company by itself with its very existence because it was the greatest thing ever created by humanity. Now, if only Lego would stop being so lazy and so dumb, and if they would only bring back Bionicle, maybe do it with newer pieces, that's fine. Better durability. Let's not have the ball and socket lime colored pieces that snap constantly. Better quality pieces, more of a consistent system, maybe, but bring back Bionicle and you'll be done. Winning, profit. Just do it. And look what happened. Abysmal, I think, is being nice. That was a catastrophe. It was a total systemic embarrassment. Metro Nui, Burjo, what makes you bring that up? Because I kind of feel like Metro was kind of peak Bionicle. Why did the reboot fail? Because nobody wanted that stuff anymore. I mean, classic Bionicle fans will find plenty of reasonable arguments for why Bionicle Gen 2 didn't work out so well because of specifics of the marketing or the style of the animation. Like, yeah, okay, the animated parts weren't that great and stuff, but not having as much lore. But ultimately, it's just not. Why didn't it? I can't think of any reason why it would have worked well other than nostalgic older fans who have money now and just want new. And that's not a big enough market. I don't know, it just wasn't strong, and it wasn't fortunate enough to be in that one specific moment, to be that one theme out of 1,000 different crazy themes that Lego tried to do at that one time all together. That one thing that happened to stick against all the other crazy ideas. I'm just looking to see if I can. Yeah, there we go. 2002. Bionicle was not seen as any better than that. It was just a random thing that they threw at the wall, and Bionicle happened to stick. Bring back Bionicle as limited run and it'll sell out? No, because you can get all the old Bionicle stuff on Bricklink and eBay today. You can buy like tubs, not like this, but like the size of this entire desk. Tubs of Bionicle stuff for so cheap. So cheap. Anybody who wants the old stuff can just get it. So all these folks talking about, if you just bring back the old stuff, then we'll be, you'll sell so much. They won't. You wouldn't be able to get a good Toa for $7 on eBay if there was huge demand for the old stuff. The black box, though, you have a point there. Black box 18 plus, that adds a lot of value because it signals to adult fans of Lego that this is for them. Haha! We got it. We've got that connection. We did significant market research. Lots of focus groups. 18 plus makes that psychological difference. It sets the mind up. What, Michael? Go on. No, Vince. No, the black boxes of Lego architecture, that was an entirely different set of research efforts. It was an entirely different team that worked on that unique design feature. Yeah, sorry, I don't. I don't. But yeah, the black boxes of architecture are a completely different thing. They have different treatments, different logo placement, different sizes and styles of typography. It's a very different thing. I've not been able to keep up with Friends stuff at all. I've had to give up, unfortunately. Oh! Friends, the TV show. No wonder. Okay, I thought you were talking about Lego Friends and its series of animations and such. Okay, no, forget it. No. All I know from Friends, other than the very annoying intro song and the very annoying people. All I know is Joey lipstick for men. That's all I remember. Nice. See, that was a worthwhile moment from that entire series. If Ichiban, if anybody's gonna get, if any non-Friends fan is gonna get anything good out of the entire Friends TV series, that would have to be it. Yes. I like the Overwatch style boxes, Vince. Pivoting now, swiveling. I like the Overwatch style boxes myself. I've seen a lot of negative feedback about it for some reason. Why? What's wrong with them? Yeah, how you doing? That was okay for a time. That lasted. That was good for a good decade or so. It's kind of running out now. Hidden side boxes, nah. Thank you. I was just gonna ask about that. I'm gonna throw that in there. Thank you for closing that loop. That gets Drake memed. Overwatch too niche. Overwatch itself, you're talking about the theme, not the box art style, eh? because the box art basically just showed you the products in context with background that made sense to go with it, and they were like fighting. And then they had the two versions. They had the version that was a little bit more in universe, and then they had the version that was more just the product and more for Lego folks. I personally actually preferred the side with the white strip with the more Lego focused version of it. I preferred that to the style for the in universe computer graphics, rendered looking version. All right, folks. Hate to do this to you, but I'm getting kind of warm over here. Also, a little bit tired in the eyes. It is 3:30 a.m. You're weird. You don't care about the box art. Well, I mean, it's just a nice thing to look at. But I mean, you're not that weird. People call me weird for not keeping the boxes. Like you're supposed to collect the boxes. I don't care about. I honestly don't care about the packaging that much. Myself, I care about it more for marketing purposes and the success of products. What success of Mario? The success of Mario will be Mario clan, Mario cult followers buying stuff because it's Mario and just keeping it in the box and waiting to turn a profit on it after 5 or 10 years. It'll sell lots to collectors and investors. There's no way it's going to be successful in its current form as a toy series. Minifig Mario, maybe. But what they have right now, I don't see it happening. Do not see it happening. I will try to review the starter set. I'm curious about it. I want to have that in my hand. I want to have that main Mario thing. I want to see the screen, see how bright it is. I want to see the interactivity with that. I'm curious about it. But I'm definitely not going to go beyond that. Starter set only. I just realized, because this has studs on top, you can stack Lego animals. I never thought about that. You can go farther than that. That's a cool idea. I wish I could take advantage of that, but unfortunately, my zoo is going to be just a little bit too realistic to get too silly with things. But I should at least try to do something like that in my Minecraft area, because in the Minecraft universe, stuff like that actually does happen sometimes. Take care, Craig. And take care, everyone. I need to go look at my city again. Take this back in there and think about it a bit. And then start looking at, probably tonight won't start looking at which animals to take out of this box and really put into consideration for the zoo redo, but I'm very much thinking about the major layout considerations. That's very top of mind, like top of mind. Oh, I might have enough time to render up my Bricklink haul video. Ooh, lucky Michael, lucky. Did I mention to call it a day or night? Yeah, whichever it is. Flamingo Mold is a collectible minifigure series thing. Keep Good times. Absolutely excellent turnout. Great chat. I think this worked a lot better having a little bit closer to real-time interaction too. Like a lot better. Definitely look forward to doing that more in the future. Take care. Almost instant real time. Very cool. Take care, all. Thank you for joining. If you forgot anything, anything comes back to you, feel free to post up. Unfortunately, I've not been able to follow the Discord server regularly. I do look in there, but I haven't even started posting at all. But I do at least look. But certainly, if anything comes up that you wanted to ask me about or anything in this chat, and you just think about it, as soon as I press the end stream button, feel free to just post it on the, well, really on any post, but most appropriately the one for this. I do get notifications for all replies. It generally works across Patreon, no matter how old the post or whatnot. Sweet. Good times, everyone. And I will talk to you again as soon as I can. I'll try to do another one of these at the regular time, I think, probably already next week. Bye! Long, awkward pause as I go back to the correct window where I should have been to click on